bunch of people made a lot of terrible mistakes, and we came and did what we could to get them out of a jam. I'd say, friend, if you hadn't screwed up, I wouldn't be here.
Best thing could happen to all of my people would they run into all of you. The whole secret of this business, I think, is to know your job as intimately and as interconnected as you possibly can.
Very important to know the enemy is fire and how the enemy spreads, convection, conduction, and radiation. And you got to know your battlefield. You're going to do battle on the fire ground, so you got to know the battlefield.
The premier position that the workers in this room have put this service in is that we are the most popular service, we're the most accepted service, and we're the most trusted service. We have 2 in and 2 out. I says because firefighters are worth saving.
His message was always to make a difference, to live life so that you were leaving a mark. This award shows our family that he truly made a difference.
If you've been in fires a lot, no matter how experienced you are, you got to have somebody on your shoulder telling you that, they're backing you because you don't know. There are times when you say, hey, God, just get me through this, I'll be a good boy, I'll go to church on Sunday, I'm going to take care of everything. Get me through this.
It's a super thing, and I am very appreciative of this award. I would just like to leave one simple little message today, especially to the younger people. You can make a difference.
If my father were here this morning, he would remind us of the cold, hard fact that no leader is any greater than the men and women that he is called to lead.
To be able to work at an occupation which brings tremendous personal satisfaction and to enjoy the association with the marvelous people we have been privileged to work with makes firefighting enviable to those sentenced to much more mundane walks of life.
I think like most people that have these things happen to them, they realize that they really stand on the shoulders of people who have gone before them, people who have stand next to them, and people they admire.
If you can travel around and you can preach the message of professionalism and safety and for what firefighters do for this country, then I think it's all worthwhile.
Somewhere in this room, there is someone that will be up here on this stage accepting this award in the future, because this is the group that is the leadership of the fire service.
I'd like to begin by expressing to each of you how honored and privileged I am to have been selected this year's recipient of the Tom Brennan Lifetime Achievement Award. Tommy's a gentleman who's done so much for this fire service, a person who I can call my friend. And to be associated with his legacy is a phenomenal point in my life.
Tom Brennan, Lifetime Achievement Award. I don't know how I even fit in that equation anywhere, but I'm truly, truly, truly humbled and honored. You'll be up here, somebody, one of you will be up here next year. Thank you.
Eileen, receiving this award in your father's name is a privilege. It was Tom who encouraged me to write in Jim Murtaugh's class. To the FDIC fire engineering family, the Indianapolis Fire Department, my old FDIC education group, and to my beloved friend, the late Steve Alk. As a team, there was nothing we could not accomplish in making this the greatest fire service conference in the world.
It will be all of you, the true leaders of the fire service, that keep the torch of tradition burning intensely, that will steer us through these turbulent waters and allow us to emerge an even stronger and more resilient fire service. Thank you all for your passion for the fire service and your passion for firefighting. Thank you.
The fire service belongs to us. It's not only duty, honor, and country, but it's duty, honor, country, and community, because you are the first line of defense.
Years ago when I was in the Army, the slogan at that time was, "Be all that you can be." Well, folks, you're the best and the brightest the fire service has to offer. And I would encourage you to attend as many classes as you can, take the knowledge you gain, bring it back and share it with your team, and above all, be all that you can be. Thank you, stay safe, God bless, and buckle up.
Apologize, I'm sweating worse than Mike Tyson at a spelling bee. Sorry. It was 1998, and the weather in Brooklyn was miserable. It was cold, as it usually is in February, and I'm unloading some heavy boxes and tips and tools at the FDNY Research and Development Division. And I just sent a couple of guys in ahead of me with a load when I hear this guy walk up behind me and say, "Can I help you, brother? That looks heavy." Thus began my love affair with Jerry Tracy, a man whom my mother would correctly and adroitly categorize as the quintessential New York gentleman. No higher compliment can you receive from a lifelong Bronx resident. The quintessential New York gentleman, a welcome throwback to a time when manners and civility were treasured, when men of character strove to outdo one another in deeds of civility and politeness, a time when character and reputation mattered far more than titles or power. This is who Jerry Tracy exemplifies, the living embodiment of the classical New York gentleman. I've been fortunate to go on many adventures with Jerry, and without fail, his first question is, "Can I help you, brother?" Now, to some that might sound insignificant, except when the source is sincere, when the question is genuine, and the man behind the question is hoping that you will say, "Yes, brother, you can." You see, Jerry's been helping his brothers and sisters his entire life, whether it be understanding tactics and fire behavior, issues with life such as addiction and dependency, moral issues such as integrity and commitment, or fighting for our country in Vietnam. Jerry has stepped up to help his friends, family, and community and country, always with distinction, honor, and his trademarked, polished genteel. I am in love with Jerry Tracy, and I say that without guile or hesitation, for he has shown us that love and kindness can be the two most powerful forces in the universe. He has shown us the right way to approach life and service. It is my distinct honor and privilege to be allowed to tell you a little bit about my dear friend. Jerry retired as a battalion commander with the New York City Fire Department after serving 31 years responding to fires and emergencies throughout the city, beginning in what was referred to as the war years. He began his career upon his retirement from the Navy, where his naval career would take him to the coastal areas of Vietnam in support of what were then called the Navy Frogmen, now the Navy SEAL teams. Jerry would complete 2 tours of combat in Vietnam aboard the USS Weiss. His DD-214 would list the National Defense Service Medal, the Republic of Vietnam Campaign Medal, and the Vietnam Service Medal, and a Bronze Star. Upon his discharge, Jerry completed the FDNY recruit training and was appointed to Engine 90 in the Bronx. After 5 years on Engine 90, Jerry became a truck member of 108 Truck in Williamsburg, Brooklyn in 1982. Jerry had the distinct privilege to work alongside Captain Tom Brennan of Truck 111. In 1987, he was promoted to lieutenant and assigned to the 9th Battalion in Midtown Manhattan, and then detailed to Truck 4 in the heart of Times Square. After his promotion to captain in 1993, he was assigned to Brooklyn's 15th Division. At that time, the Captain John Salka was developing a training program on engine company operations, and he asked Jerry to join the project. Jerry would now be introduced to the outstanding members of Engine 48, firefighter Andy Fredericks, firefighter John Grasso, Lieutenant Billy McGinn, and Bob Pressler of Rescue 3. Jerry was transferred back to Manhattan Command in Tower Ladder 35 in 1996. In January of 1997, Ladder 35 would arrive first due for a wind-driven fire in the apartment of Lionel Hampton. Many firefighters would go to the hospital that day. Jerry recognized from that experience that the published policies and practices and tactics of the FDNY on residential high-rise fires needed to be reviewed and refined. He believed that the type of fires could be attacked by alternative strategies and approaches rather than the direct frontal approach. Jerry proposed the use of a nozzle from the floor below for fire situations where windows failed to the fire area. The department administration accepted the report, but did not implement the concept or the use of the tool. High-rise, wind-driven fire events in the minds of few were rare. So, for those that had limited understanding and experience of fires that go bad in an instant, A business case had to be made. Destiny would take place at FDIC. Jerry would be introduced to a seasoned fire researcher named Dan Madrikowski. With encouragement from Dan and NIST, a venture in research could be made. A decade would pass before a structure would become available. In that time span, Jerry would be called on to command and form a new elite unit in the Special Operations Command, Squad 18 of Manhattan in 1998. Jerry would be promoted to battalion chief in May of 2000 and assigned to Battalion 49. The availability of a high-rise structure to conduct research materialized in June of 2006 with the acquisition of a 30-story vacant office in Toledo, Ohio. Following the Toledo burns, Chief Tracy invited the Chicago Fire Department to join in this initiative. This collaboration would prove pivotal in furthering research in understanding fire behavior and smoke control in high-rise structures. In November of 2006, the Chicago Fire Department secured a 16-story vacant residential high-rise to conduct live fire research. Underwriters Laboratory, at this point, joined the project. The last burn conducted in Chicago was to replicate a wind-driven fire. NIST-mounted cameras in the apartment, in the public hall, in the stairwell. These cameras captured the event from ignition to flashover. The test fire replicated a tragic event that killed 3 firefighters in New York in 1998 on Vandalia Avenue in Brooklyn. Upon returning to New York with the live video, the administration of FDNY were determined to continue the research to better understand fire behaviors impacted by wind. In 2008, the FDNY was granted funding from the Department of Homeland Security to finance and conduct research specific to wind-driven fires. This research validated the use of PPV fans and pressurized stairwells, covered failed windows effectively with control devices, and extinguished fires with a nozzle device from a position of safety. The data and results of the research revolutionized FDNY policy procedures to fires in high-rise commercial buildings as well as residential fires. The Chicago Fire Department followed suit, as well as many other fire departments nationwide. We are here today to recognize Chief Tracy's tenacity and commitment to firefighter safety, to the study of fire behavior, and the development of tactics appropriate to the fires of today. Here is what some of Jerry's friends had to say about Chief Tracy. Bobby Hoff, Commissioner retired, Chicago Fire Department. I have known Jerry for several years, and throughout our fire service careers, being a student of his, having had the opportunity to instruct with him, has been an honor for me. Some of the things I admire about Jerry is he's always willing to share his wealth of knowledge through his many years on some of FDNY's busiest fire companies. His passion for the fire service did not fade after his retirement. It has gotten stronger. Jerry has made a positive influence, not only on his peers, but on many thousands of firefighters he has taught throughout the country. He has taught tricks of the trades to firefighters, company officers, chief officers that will and have saved countless lives of firefighters. On the personal side, Jerry is always there to talk people through tough times and is willing to help members on and off the job. He is a humble man who has done more for the fire service than he will ever know. Jerry is very deserving of this award, for Jerry is a firefighter who not only talked the talk, but walked the walk. Jerry, thank you for your passion and love of the fire service. From Jerry's friend, Sal Casano, Commissioner retired, FDNY. Jerry was a dedicated, conscientious, knowledgeable, hardworking firefighter and fire officer. His focus on training members of his command made all those who worked for and with Jerry better firefighters. He has left behind a legacy of commitment to all who knew and worked with Jerry. He was also an asset to the FDNY during his career. From Jack Murphy, Lifetime Achievement Award winner, when Jerry Tracy first got his lecturing feet wet at an FDNY high-rise symposium, there was a bundle of energy getting his fire service message across. Even as he overextended his time slot, he continued to exuberate his fire lesson at a rapid pace.
Chief Butler had to apply a pike pole method to get Jerry off the stage so the next speaker could take the podium. Anyone who has ever taken a class from Jerry or lectured with Jerry knows his dedication to his craft, his knowledge of fire service, industry knowledge is unparalleled. He has a unique skill. When he senses a lull in a presentation, he will draw you right back into the conversation. He has never been fearful of taking on new challenges, even in the latter part of his career. He is a force in Wind River fire testing and the development of new fireground tactics. Many firefighters across the country are humbled to have taken a journey with Jerry and ride the back step with Jerry Tracy. I love you, brother. From Dan Madrikowski, research engineer, UL Firefighter Safety Research Institute. As a fire researcher, I have the honor to work with many firefighters, officers, and chiefs across the nation. These leaders have many positive traits, but one common strength is the vision and persistence to create change. My best example of persistence is Battalion Chief Jerry Tracy, FDNY. Chief Tracy was the catalyst behind the wind-driven fire research. He brought some of the biggest fire departments in the U.S. to the table with the researchers. The results have changed the way high-rise fires are fought and have led to a new generation of firefighters, firefighters that examine their tactics in terms of fire dynamics. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, without any further ado, the man of the hour, the quintessential New York gentleman, the 2016 Tom Brennan Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Jerry Tracy. Looking for a pike pole.
I says, you better get out of here, because you know I'll always go over time. Good morning. Welcome to FDIC 2016. Before this goes up my nose, look at this. Not only do I get to stand before you, I get to stand at the tip of the aerial. Did you notice? Aerial ladder. I've been there thousands of times in my career. Tools, axe. Do you know what's missing? See what's not here? There's no lights. There's no nozzle. This is a tool for access egress, search and rescue for firefighters. That's why there's no light here. That's why there's no nozzle. How are you going to stick it in a window with a nozzle on it? Big lights, you're going to worry about it. The chief, don't break those. This is a tool. This is PPE. This is your personal protective equipment. It'll protect you, get you out of a fire, save the life of a firefighter, allow us to do their job. Really, it's because of you. It's because of all of you that I get to stand here today following in the footsteps of some of the most distinguished leaders, role models, and mentors of the fire service, some of which I had the honor to work with, alongside or under their command. This award, it's a testament to a pursuit, a calling, a sharing of knowledge. If it were not for Penwell and the FDIC conference, I would have not have formed the relationships, partnerships of support needed to accomplish the goal of offering proof that fire behaved quite differently in high-rise than fires in other types of structures. We understood the phenomena of smoke movement through the stack effect, but we didn't associate that with fire behavior and the fact that if you were in a position of smoke and fire travel, you were in the barrel of a shotgun. What we now know of as flow path. The live fire research, the quantifiable data, the live video It was the launching point of the continued research on fire behavior, ventilation techniques, and efficiency in extinguishment. You know, my greatest support came from my family and my lovely wife, Pat. And of course, my colleagues within the FDNY. And Canada is there too. I'm also convinced that I had the support of colleagues that are now guardian angels in heaven. I truly believe their influence was involved in the pursuit of this accomplishment as well. Every one of them demonstrated their commitment to the professionalism and purpose of the fire service. I would be remiss not to acknowledge the support of the fire engineering staff, Diane Rothschild, Mary Jane Dittmar, Ginger Mendolia, Rob Maloney, Ed Olmsted, Donnie Dimes, and the whole AV crew, gang, and the editors in my time, Tom Brennan, Bill Manning, and Bobby Holton, my good friend. This award is not about me. You know, it represents a testament that you may stand here one day as well. To say, it's proof to all of us that if we continue on a path to fuel our flames of passion in the pursuit of just becoming better at our job, expanding our knowledge, enhancing our skills, and to better our understanding of fire behavior and all types of building designs and construction, we can transcend dogma outdated by times and technology. You know, and I thank you. God bless you. Thank you for being here.